Over the last few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom that makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yard store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet. You're going to hear the air conditioner. It is what it is. We're in Michigan, and we're in a bit of a heat wave. So, yeah. Sarge is also here, so you may hear some background noise.
Hi!
Real life happens, so that's how it is. Let's get into the podcast. It's 2 in 1 month, so yay. But what have I been doing? Well, I finished my 12 days of Christmas socks. I did them with 1x1 ribbing, and then did the 12 days, did a rounded toe, and put in an afterthought heel. I think I started these on our trip to Las Vegas in February and knit on them during that whole trip, and then promptly didn't knit on them. So I now have 2. They're pretty matchy, and I like how they came out, but they came out a bit big. So because she doesn't watch this, these are going to be going to Boo for Christmas because her feet are just a little bit bigger than mine. I have them on my Hornshaw, wow, it don't want to come off, on my Hornshaw sock blockers, and I have all the sizes of these, and this one happens to be the large, as marked there. That's a women's large, and then they have the extra large and the extra large. It goes all the way down to an extra small. And I believe he's still making these, but you'll have to check his website, hornshawwoodworks.com. So this is how the sock looks without. It was a shorty because long feet. I just did the 12 days. I didn't add anything else. The speckle came with, so that was the main, and I have about half of the speckle left over, but I have maybe 2 inches of this left over, so it just got tossed. So everything was used. I enjoyed making them. I like doing Christmas socks. I don't always do them at Christmas, but I like doing Christmas socks. So that is my finished object this time. I have a lot of works in progress, and very few have you seen before. That's just who I am. I was inspired and moved forward, and if that's where my heart is taking me, that's where I'm going. So the first one you have seen before. I knit a few rows on the Alpine Bloom. Not much, but a few. I got the first flowers done, and I'm moving into the second flowers. And this is being done in a Aegean tweed, in a terracotta, and an ocean blue, and those are the colors I'm working with. And I am doing it on a size 9 Chiagu, and just working on it as I can. It's something that I really have to concentrate on, color work. I have to look at the graph and all that, so I haven't been in that mind space, so only a few rows got done. I was talking with my daughter-in-law, and she said, Mom, I can't figure out my sweater right now. Now, she started a sweater almost 3 years ago, and kind of got out of the habit of knitting while I was in South Dakota. So we sat down together, and we got her sweater going. It is called the Pure Comfort Cardigan, And I'll pop a picture if I can right here or wherever on this thing. I think it goes here, but somewhere. And so I decided out of some yowza that I had to join her in making it. Now, of course, she's much further than I am, but I decided to cast it on, and I am doing it out of yowza. I think this is Little Miss Thing, but let me confirm. It's a Babette. Oh, it's Sweet Thing. So this is the colorway. And I actually need a little bit more than what it's saying, and I have another colorway in the other room that I can use if need be, but I am working on, I'm not doing helical knitting, I'm just doing 2 rows because it's back and forth, not in the round, so I'm trying to keep it from pooling too much. But I have, and this is on much bigger needles, I think it calls for a 6, and I am doing it on a 9. It's a basic raglan, so as it goes down, I'm just gonna do the pattern with my sizes. And I like the way this fits, and I'm going to like the drape because this works out. I am a very tight knitter, so I always go up a needle. And this time I went up a couple of needles because I like that fabric. So this, in this very watery Lake Michigan blue kind of color, was in my stash, and so trying to deep dive in stash to use up some of it because I have way too much. And I have all of that in this, and I have, like I said, I have another 3 skeins of Babette in the Yowza. Babette's are one that she doesn't make again, and I have that in ponytail. And if I don't have enough to do the full thing in these 3, I'll do like the cuffs in ponytail, or the rib part that goes around the front, which you will have seen, will be in ponytail. And they're not that much different that it's gonna scream that it's a different yarn. It's going to look very cohesive when it's done. And so that's what I'm looking for. So I have that, and this is in my Cozy Sky. Is that what these are? Yeah, Cozy Sky Company bag. And it's being kept there very nicely. So that's the second sweater I'm working on. And then I started Teenage Mutant Ninja Mini Turtles, or Teenage Mutant Mini Turtles, I think it's called. Teenage Mutant Mini Turtles. And I have his head done. I think this is Raphael, but it might be one of the others. And so I went to Joann's and I picked up a bunch of the bonbons and some other, I'm going to be doing the bodies in the skein tones, and then the back half shell, heroes in a half shell, right? So that will be done in basic stitch. And I have red heart yarn in this for the black eyes, and the different colored are done out of the bonbons, the head eyepiece. And then they had this wee little thing of polyfill, so I picked that up because it'll be perfect to do 4 of these. My nephew has a grandson, so that would be my great-grand nephew. And I'm making them for him because he's really into turtles. So I have that going, and the pattern name is Teenage Mutant Mini Turtles. And I'll put a picture of that right up here. But I'm keeping it in this shoebox. It makes it easy. It has the crochet hook, the darning needle, the little thing of scissors, and everything's right here so I can get them done. So I have done one of those. Then in this bag, I have a pair of socks that I am working on. These are Opal Beauty. I don't remember what the colorway is. But it's the kind that this has vitamin E in the yarn, so it makes your hands soft. And I don't know if you can see what these are going to turn out to look like. Now I do double points, and this time I had a double set of double points. So I'm not doing them concurrently, but I am on the heel. And so I actually have 6 double points in this project, so I can do everything easy for a heel turn. So I have cast on and done 2x2 ribbing, and then I have knit the cuff of the sock. I've done the knit one, slip one, and then I've done a heel turn, and now I'm at the point of downward gusset. And I really think these are going to be for my daughter-in-law for Christmas. So she only has a size 7 foot, so that goes rather quickly. So I will get these done for her. And hopefully I will get them done in the time frame, because Lord knows I have an ooh shiny issue. So yeah, and that is being housed in my queen bee bag. And my needle holder, which I didn't just put on, but this is from Alex Collins, and that's to hold my double points. I've got 4 double points in there. So that is my pair of socks that I have going. And the other thing that I have been doing is another deep stash dive. And that is the Ariana, I think that's how you say it, Ariana, cardigan. It is a granny square cardigan. And I found in my stash, get all this in here, it's in an ottoman. I have these ottomans that can be stuffed full of stuff, and so I keep this one in this ottoman. I found a dozen Liberty wool, and all of the Liberty wools are different, but they all coordinate, and so they're all within the same color family. They're all dye lot 7897. Now I have another dozen in another dye lot, but this is the one I'm doing. And so I have 6 more balls to make up, and I'm not sure where I am on that, as in how many. But I know after weighing one of these, this is a Cozy Wool Merino, and this is in the, I had it right here. Here we go. What color is that? Spice colorway, and that's 410 yards to go with and correspond, because I didn't think I had enough in the 12 to do the full cardigan, and I want to edge it in the goldenrod color. Is this goldenrod or is this mustard color? And so I have done so far 10 squares of the solid, the spice, and I weighed one of them. I have a Dymo kitchen scale that I use, put it on grams, and it told me how much it was, and then I weighed how much I have left. I have enough to do 6 more plus a little bit, but it will do 6 more squares, so 16 squares here, and I have 26 squares out of the Liberty wool, and I need 46, so 16 plus I'm going to need 30 of these. We'll come up with 46 squares. Now these are bigger than what the pattern calls for. I am using a, I believe it's an F hook. No, it's bigger. It's probably an H. It's a 5mm tulip hook. And I love these hooks. I think it's the Edemo. Is that what it says on the back? Just says Tulip Japan, but the red hooks are my favorite. I've tried a couple of the others, the gray and such. I like the red. I have the full set. But each one of these, as you can see, is just a little bit different. Some are more purple, some are more orange, some are bright orange, some have red undertones. To me, that one just looks like apple picking. And so I'm calling this my apple picking sweater because all the colors to me just remind me of the fall here in Michigan when we go out leaf peeping, and these are the colors you see. And so I'm calling this, you know, my apple picking cardigan. And so I have a whole nother stack of these in here. I'm just using a 2-gallon, I think it's a hefty zip closed jumbo. And so like I said, some are very orange, some have more of the reds, but all of them go together. And so I think intermixing with this spice to bring that together, and then having it edged in this mustard, extreme fall colors, and that's what I'm going for. I don't have any more of this. I hope it's enough. I found a new way to put them together because these are so much bigger than the normal. The normal has another round all the way together. I don't think I'll have to do that extra round. My only thing with the pattern is it has a dolman sleeve. And though it's nice to have that extra, I have enough extra that I don't know that I need more in a dolman sleeve. So I'm kind of iffy on how I'm going to do that. I also, on top of the 46, I think I have to make 20 half, and that's why these 6 will be the other 4 to make it 30 in this, and then all of the half squares I think I'm doing out of the Liberty wool. And both of these are a washable wool. I probably won't wash them. I think it will be a hand wash only for me, not a throw it in the machine and wash it. But I'm hoping to get that done fairly soon. I've been working on that. I haven't been knitting much. I'll talk about that a little bit later. What else do I have going on here? I think that's it on the whip front. I do have an UGG. I talked about this a little bit on the last one, and I finally found it to rip it out. This is the Remi camisole, and I will show you why I think it is way too big. So this was the, I'm going to pull it off the needle because it's getting undone. This was the front and the 2 sides to be able to make it together for the front. And I was getting ready to put it together. And it's supposed to be negative ease so that it stretches over your body. So when I put this is supposed to be the front. When I put this here and I block it to negative ease, number one, it's way too low. It comes down. I mean, my bra stops here, up here, and it's a good that much under what my bra is. But I shortened the other one, and I went, okay, I could use this for the front instead and just flip it around. And it is just way too big this way. And so it's either the yarn that I'm using, which is the Pacific from Cascade, and this is in Sport, and I think it called for DK, and I'm actually using Sport, so it should have gone the other way, but I'm doing it on the needle that it suggests. It's just not, it's not where I want to be. It's too low cut and it's too open and wide, and I'm just not happy with how it came out. So it also comes down lower than my bra strap here, and so I want it shortened. I'm going to revisit this. So this is going to get ripped out. I could see wearing it. I just need it to fit me, and I think I did it too big. I think I did a size too big. And sometimes that happens. And this is being held in my Richard Scary bag. And I do not recall who made this bag, but I loves it. It's a box bag and it's Richard Scary. And it's got Lowly the Worm and Mr. Fix-It and all of that I loved in my childhood. So I'm happy with that. So that was my UGG. Next thing, we went to Michigan Fiber Fest, so the next talk is going to be about that. My daughter-in-law and I, we met up with Aunt Deb there. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is some of the spinning that I got. I got some spinning fiber from Apothecary. This is Baby Doll Southdown. As you can see, it's open, and I'm not showing it to you because it's in this bag. This bag, which is a knot bag with a grommet, goes through, perfect for spinning. Was made by Knitting on the Fringe. Knitting on the Fringe is also who made this dress, and I love this dress, and it's got pockets, and I'm very happy with the pockets, and it's nice and cool and comfortable. But the fiber from Apothecary, and I'll put in a picture here of what the skein looked like, what the braid looked like. But I tri-stripped it, split it in half, and then split one half into half for fractal spinning. It is very, again, apple orchardy colors. And this is coming up, let's see if I can do this. It is spinning up very nicely. And it's still attached. This is on Room, my Ladybug spinning wheel. And I have one more fiber to do, and then I will put this into a 2-ply and make spinner's yarn from it. I don't know what weight it's going to be. It's been so long since I've spun that it's just, let's have fun with it. So I picked up some Southdown to have fun with. And what else did I get from Apothecary? I got more. Of course I got more, right? I think it's in the bottom, so let's go from the top. Yep, I have a bag. So from Winding Well Creek, who I hadn't seen in a while. Hi, Barbara. I picked up 2 of these braids of merino butterfly bush, and this is 4 ounces of merino, and it has pinks and blues and purples, and my daughter-in-law got a braid also. That's why I got 2. We're going to learn to spin together. She has my old Fricky wheel. She loves it, so I gave it to her for Christmas. And she's played with it some. She's working on it with some, what does she have on there right now? I think it's Coriadale. And getting used to spinning again. She was in the process, but again, since I moved, she got out of it. And as soon as I came back, she's like, hey Mom, show me again. So we picked up this for her next spin. And I also picked up 1 ounce of Angora Merino Kid Mohair. And this is like a cloud in your hand, and so I will be spinning that. I think I have found all the pieces to my spinner's curiosity cabinet that I had, Breed Steady, and so I will be pulling that back out, and I'll pull out my fiber source book and a couple other books, and we'll talk about fibers and such as we go forward. But right now I picked up another ounce to add to it. So this is 1 ounce of that fiber. And we'll get to Apothecary in a minute, but I'll go down the bag as it comes out. So I saw Deb from Stonehenge Fiber, and she had Crazy. She no longer wholesales, so the only place you can get it is her website, stonehengefibermill.com. or at shows. And so I picked up 3 different Crazies, and these are like mill-ins that she throws together, and I use them for color work. It's a lot like the ones that spin cycle and stuff like that. Well, they were doing that. Stonehenge was doing that long before that company came out. And, you know, Handspun was doing it long before this, but these are fun to work with. So I got one that's the pinks and the blues, and I can see some reds in there, a little bit of greens, so that will change. I got one that's pinky and peachy with some brown tones. And I got this one that's got the blues, the greens, and the peaches and browns. And so I'm very happy with those. I picked up a set of stitch stoppers. I believe I got this from the Frogget Yarns yarn truck. And this stitch stopper is made by Fox and Pine. They're sunflowers. If you know me, you know that's my favorite flower. So sunflowers go. And they'll just go on the ends of my needles. Very happy. But also from Frogget Yarn, I picked up fireflies. And fireflies came with a maroon color mini. And I was like, it just doesn't go enough for me. And I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. But right there at the top is speckles of this bright orange. And I think this bright orange, they're called tadpoles. So this bright orange tadpole will go with these. They're DK weight socks, and so these will be boot socks for winter. And I will get that made up. Then I saw Chris from Briar Rose, and I love Briar Rose's yarns. I love the way she colors. Her concept, she's wonderful. And I picked up, what is the color of this? 4th of July, which is 100% merino wool, 550 yards per skein. These to me say old man's tweed coat. Just the colors of them. If you can't see them, I'm going to put a picture in. I think it's getting blown out. But it is definitely a marl. And it's got browns and grays and mahoganies and just different colors. And all naturals, all neutrals, I should say. And so I'm going to be making, I have, that would be 1,100 yards, so I'll be making some sort of sweater out of this. And, let's see, is that any better? I don't know, I can't tell. But that's Briar Rose. And let's see, I got, okay, this is from Apothecary down here. I picked up, she doesn't really name her colorways. This one is just a merino. I believe this is a 21 micron merino, and it's in tealies and grays and just all those yummy colors. And so this will get spun up one day. And then she had a bat. And I love spinning bats. I love Z-twists. And this bat, I'm not going to pull it out because trying to get it in is a pain in the tail, but I am going to pull out the little card. It's 6.3 ounces of a whole lot of stuff that isn't listed here. But I think that's coming out pretty good. It's got the copper and the orange and the brown and the gray and the white and the black. And it's just going to be a super fun bat to long draw and then ply up. So I don't know if I will coordinate with a different fiber and spin it and then have a real dark color to go with to make it all pop. And barber pole, but oh, that's gonna be fun. And I got inspired to spin again. Yeah, it's been a while. But, so things that weren't at Michigan Fiber Fest. Let's see, we went to the fest. It was wonderful. We saw sheepies. I think you'll have seen pictures. We saw bunnies. I didn't take pictures of bunnies. There was one that was the most gorgeous apricot color of bunny that just, I wanted the fleece, but I know I don't spin straight Angora. I have a friend that does, and she spins it wonderfully. It gets up my nose, and I do nothing but sneeze. So I will spin it mixed, but I won't spin it straight. And so yeah, there's that. We had a lot of fun though. Ate barbecue, had fun. We were there, we got there at 9:30, 9:45, and we left about 2. So it wasn't as long. I will say that Michigan Fiber Fest was only half of what it used to be. They probably could have moved the booths that were down in the big white barn up into the main and not had the big white barn this time. There was so much open space. Saw a lot of people I haven't seen in a few years, some of them 4 or 5 years. It had been a while, and missed some people that weren't there. And, some people COVID'd out, so, they just shut down their business. And others aren't working with the people at Michigan Fiber Fest, and there are other events that they're going to, so I will have to broaden my horizons. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that this pamphlet that came out for Michigan Fiber Fest, the inside of it used to be triple the amount, I would say. And that's all that was there. I did see this really cool loom that I want to see about getting. I'm finding it for 4 times the price online, so I'm probably not going to do it, but it's a twinning loom. And instead of being the big box that I have that's a frame that you twin on, this it's little posts that stick up, and you thread the fiber through, or you thread the warp through, and then you twin on the posts and you just pull it up. And unfortunately, I forgot to go back and buy one. They were only like $55. I wanted to get one next time, because I'm not finding them, and I don't remember their name to be able to look them up. If you remember it, because you went to Michigan Fiber Fest and you know who I'm talking about, they were in the big barn up front, not the little one on the side, but the bigger one. Dragonfly Studios was here. They were kind of over here. I had seen Chris before I went over and saw this, and it was like, I will be back. I'm looking for something else at this point in time, and then I completely spaced it. But that was something. But last time we talked, I couldn't remember who I had other fiber from. And it was from Sweet Mountain Crafts. I had gotten my Adventure Club, which the rest of this is put away, but my Adventure Club for July, and that was backpacking trip, and it had the little magnet or pin. It had a couple other things, trail mix, tea, things like that, and it was wonderful. But this is the color she put together for the backpacking trip, and that is Sweet Mountain Farms. I get the DK. I'm in the club. And so this green and brown with a dark brown, it's like leaves and trees, and yeah. So I'm very happy with that. And this is done out of 75% superwash, 25% nylon, DK sock, of course, dyed in Cody, Wyoming, right outside of Yellowstone. And the reason I remembered to show this one is today this showed up. So I haven't even unpacked it. I don't know what's in here. Here's my packing slip. And you always get a story that goes, and so I will read this later. This is August 2023, and the colorway is Paddleboard. So if you haven't gotten yours, look away. Let's bring this in. The first thing I always open is this little fun package that's on the outside, the goodies. And it says she sent through a handy tool, which is a knit and crochet that you can keep with you in your notion bag in case you drop a stitch. Love those. And this time, oh, there is a sticker. Now that's cool. And that says Sweet Mountain Crafts. And it's like a wood look. Really cool. And then she sent Lady Grey tea, which is black tea, orange peel, lemon peel, citrus flavors. I like Lady Grey over Earl Grey. I'm not a lavender fan. So that works out. So that's kind of cool. We're going paddleboarding. We're relaxing. We have to have our little, paddleboard thing. That's what that is. And then here is the yarn. I love how she puts these in an organza bag. That's just wonderful. So she says, stand-up paddleboarding is something I love to do in the summer. A few years ago, my husband gifted me with a paddleboard that I have been able to use on the water in our area, rivers and lakes. It is a lot of fun and a great way to enjoy the outdoors. The river trips can be tricky, but it's so fun. So there's the Sweet Mountain Crafts yarn, which I'll show you in a second, the handy tool, the wood sticker, and the tea. So, and of course there's, on each one of these you get a discount code that will be applied if you want to order something else from her shop. So this is Sock Adventures. If you want to join, I believe she still has spaces open. But this month's, this is the paddleboard set, and it's got the purples, the greens, the browns, a little bit of blues in there, you can see, and then the green color that goes with, and again this is the DK sock, and I will happily make that up. Now, I don't just use these for socks. I used it on one of my sweaters, one of the, I think it was the blue that I used in the Knitty McPearly pattern that I did earlier this year. And so I really like the way that came out. So I think that's it for acquisitions when it comes to knitterly stuff, kinda. No, I have some books. So I picked up the complete crochet course from Barnes. Did we go to Barnes & Noble? I think that's where I bought it. Yep, Barnes & Noble. And I had never seen this one. And this is from larkscraft.com. Shannon and Jason Mullet Bowsley wrote this up. I picked it up. I'm very happy with it. It was $30 and then a discount. You know how that goes. But it's got a lot of information in here. Breaking down patterns. Holding your hook. How yarn is made. Somebody who's, fresher to crochet than what I am would get into that. But there's also how to read patterns. So if you're used to one way of reading a pattern and now you're going to a charted pattern, it lays out how to do the different patterns. It also shows how to do both US terms and UK terms and how they interchange. Like the double crochet is the UK treble, and the single crochet, which is the UK double, turning chain, standing stitches, all of that in here, linking your stitches, through the front loop, behind the back loop, doing color work, how to carry your yarn. It has a lot of information, and even somebody who's been crocheting now for 49 years, off and on. I was 5 when I started crochet, when Mom taught me. So yeah, I'm still able to learn new things. And then they have patterns in the back. This draped front cardigan is really cute. And this vest, let's see, what's the name of it? It is, and you can do it many ways is what it's showing. So if I can get to the beginning of it. Signature vests. I guess they're multiple vests, but there's that one that has diamonds down the back. Not sure if that one's for me, but this one that has the two-tone front and the back piece is more plain, I kind of like. Hopefully you can see that one. And that's the back of the two-toned, and that has a different diamond on the back of it. And then there's also full sweaters, like my first cardigan was in here. Color work throws. This is my first cardi, and I think it's pretty cute. I might actually make that one up. And it's just different ways of looking at crochet. Not everything has to be knit. I'm a crocheter first. This shows how to do seamings as you go seams. It also shows how to put in a zipper. It's got finishing. It's got different stitches, star stitch, wave stitch, ripple stitch, box stitch, corner to corner, anchored corners, just all sorts of things. So in looking through this, it was worth the cost. And with looking through it and finding 3 patterns that I might make, as well as all of the information, it definitely was worth the cost. So again, this is the complete crochet course. I would, at this point in time, suggest you go get it. Now this book came from Amazon, but you can buy it all over the place. I had pre-ordered this back probably January or February of this year, and it got shipped to South Dakota. And when it didn't show up here, because that's where I had already changed all my information, but it got shipped there, they sent me another one. And so this is B. Dylan Hollis, Baking Yesteryear. He's all over TikTok, all over YouTube. These are old favorites. And the reason I say old favorites is I remember my mother making a lot of these. This is all baking. Christmas and regular nights and things like that. But it has the alcohol balls that you can make. And I want to say it goes from the years of 1900 through 1980. And then talks about the worst of the worst and the best of the best. And which does he like and which does he? Now, my favorite and our favorite in our family for Christmas that's in this book would be Christmas Crack, which is the caramel and chocolate on saltine crackers. And then banana oatmeal cookies, which I couldn't believe they had. My mom used to make those all the time. And like I said, the alcohol balls, which did I just pass that? Yep, liquor balls, which are liquor and nuts and vanilla wafers that are crushed and things like that. So there's a picture of that. Used to make those. All sorts of liquors used, depending on who you were making them for. Then there was peppermint patties. I remember making those. Potato donuts. Peanut butter bread. Date macaroons. Going back all the way to the beginning, Anzac biscuits. My dad from, I think these are old Australian, appearing in Australian and New Zealand newspapers in the what year did this? 1920s. And Anzac means Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. And these are biscuits, so cookies, that were made up. And my dad always loved these. So that was something that was in the house. But just going back and getting this, it wasn't that expensive. You can find it everywhere. And to me, it takes me back to the nostalgia of yeses and nos growing up. And so this is baking yesteryear, and it's worth getting. So because we'd been to two big stores, Amazon and Barnes & Noble, the other day, Sarge and I decided to go to the local bookstore. And at the local bookstore, he was able to finish off his collection of getting, I think he has the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Federalist Papers, and now he has, by Thomas Paine, I think it's called Common Sense, and they're all in the little books. And I don't have it here to show you, but you can look them up. But we've been picking those up all over, and this one kind of completes. I think I even picked up the, I think one of them is the quotes from Theodore Roosevelt, and my favorite quote by him, of course, is in that book, but it's comparison is the thief of joy. And they're just great little, the Constitution isn't that long. Everyone should read it. Bill of Rights is a little bit longer, but everyone should read it. When it comes to all the wording in it and everything. So, but I had to pick up something fun. And this is A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. And this is by Sarah Hawley. And I haven't even started it yet, but I wanted to get into it. These are the kind of books I like. Soft books, not heavy books, and I love sci-fi fantasy. This is more of the fantasy, paranormal. It doesn't have to be sex. It can be fun. I like romance books. In fact, I have the sticker that says right here, because I got the book, or I got the sticker, says I read romance books. Yes, I do. They're called my fluff books. And then I also got the other sticker that says I tried to form a gang once, but it turned into a book club. My problem with most book clubs is they want us to read Jane Eyre, or they want us to read Pride and Prejudice, and yet no, I had to read those in college. I don't want to read them for fun. Not my thing. So, more my thing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna pick out a couple books and just, have fun with it. Not doing a book club, but my own book club. A book club of one. So that I am doing. Other things we did, and I'll put in some pictures. I bought pool noodles. Pool noodles are on sale right now. Everybody can get them, they're all over the place, and it's like, why am I buying pool noodles? I don't have a pool. Well, I use them to stand up my boots. So the boots are about to come out. It's autumn through winter. I do boots, and I put them in the top so that they're standing tall, so they don't have that wrinkle, and they look nice and sharp. So they're on my boot rack so I bought pool noodles. They go right down in them, clip them, and I can normally get 2.5 pairs. No, 1.5 pairs out of, so for 3 noodles, I get, enough to do, that kind of thing. The way the math works out, I get 3 cuts from 1 noodle. There you go. So, we've also been doing outdoor plants and putting out all of our LED lights, and now we have an outside table and chair set, and we bought the cushions for it, and I got that really inexpensively off a local resale site, not Marketplace on Facebook, but it's in a group and you can post what you're getting rid of. I picked up the cushions for it at Big Lots, and then we put out all of our LED lights, and so our front walk lights up, and they're flowers. They're not just the little lights, so they're all the fake flower kind of things, and they look really cool. And then the other day I saw that one of the local greenhouses had 4 of the 8-inch mums for $20. And so I'm like, well, that's not a bad price. I went and bought 8 plants and put them outside, and I want to get hostas, and I want to get lilies, and I want to get daffodils. So the lilies and the daffodils will all be bulbs, and they'll come up next year. And so I want that out there. And then I definitely want an area for sunflowers because it's me. And I want an area to do veggies next year. So we're going to work on prepping the soil this year for next year to plant. And I think looking around, that's about it. I will say I did get a job offer and I have accepted. And so Monday I will be starting a new job. I went to it yesterday, had a meeting that I was called in for. Can you come in? So I did. I'm an HR manager, so I'm not going to go into the company that I'm working for, but it's just thank you for all your thoughts that have been going towards me getting a job. I appreciate that. Yeah. Until next time, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.